Well, this was a beautiful experience.
Yay! See? I can do bad films too.
You do. Often, anyway. You're hosting.
I'm hosting. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, and welcome to I Hate Your Movie, a movie podcast where we inflict movies upon each other for your entertainment. Shut up, Dan.
I win one time, finally.
This week, I thought we would go a little bit different. For me, Dan's always recommending these stupid films to me, so I thought I would attempt the same.
Mm-hmm.
Dan's doing Friendery, where he actually tries to recommend good films for once.
Well, films you like. I did recommend lots of good films, but trying to get you to that 7 out of 10.
Well, it's
threshold.
all subjective, but
Yeah.
they're bad. So I thought I would try and do a fun, stupid film.
Mhm.
And that was the 1999 classic Deep Blue Sea, starring Thomas Jane and Samuel L. Jackson and LL Cool J and other people, I assume.
That Swedish guy, Sven Svensson, whatever his name is.
Do you mean Stellan
Stellan
Skarsgård?
Skarsgård. Sven Svensson.
Yeah, so it was Deep Blue Sea. I just looked up the ratings of this because I was super unprepared, so I just looked them up. All right, so this has a 60% Rotten Tomatoes score out of obviously 100%. It has a 5.9 on IMDb, which is, about the same. But
Yeah.
But on Amazon, it's got a 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah, whatever.
It's a 90% rating.
Isn't that just the users who bought the DVD or Blu-ray and went like, yeah, it arrived on time? Isn't that? I mean, genuinely.
I always assume the Amazon ones come from like Amazon Prime. But yeah, you're right, it could be.
It arrived on time. It wasn't damaged. Quality product.
And that 0.5 is just like ones who just really hated the film. It's
Yeah.
just like, fuck this shit.
The IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes. I feel like what's reflected there is a general kind of no one cares kind of thing. Where I think it's just a low amount of people rated this movie. Either people who feel very negatively or very positively about it.
I don't know. I think when this film came out, it was very like of its time.
Oh yeah, it still is. It still is of its 90s. It's never gonna go out of that.
I remember everyone like liking this film. I mean, everyone knew it was trash, but like I remember watching this film. This was one of the films I had like recorded from Blockbuster or the TV or
Yeah.
something, and I'd watch it fairly regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you like it genuinely or ironically?
I think it was just fun.
Okay.
It was just one of those films that's just fun,
Mhm.
and you put it on to turn your brain off and
Schlock.
schlock.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a very specific thing, schlock.
yeah.
It's like over the top action that's gonna turn your brain off and just laugh at it. Yeah, that's schlock.
Is it in the dictionary?
It might be, yeah. You wanna look it up?
I do. Yeah, schlock is a Yiddish word. It means like junk.
Yeah. So schlock.
Die schlock. Yes.
Yeah, this is perfect schlock.
Would you like to know what Google says this film is in a nutshell?
Okay.
As I'm just reading this, in a nutshell,
Does it just say sharks?
sharks of varying sizes,
Sharks. Any questions?
nail biting, intense, and harrowing.
Is it?
No, it really isn't.
I maybe can concede 2 of those, but not the third one.
I wouldn't even say nail biting.
Yeah, well, that's just me trying to think with the average man's brain.
Jesus Christ.
But harrowing, no. Not even the average Independence Day movie enjoyer would find this harrowing.
It's just sitting at the end of the film, rocking back and forth. Oh my god, the sharks are coming to get me. The sharks, oh my god.
Yeah.
They can change sizes and fit through doors. Oh my god.
Would you care to hear my 1-sentence review?
Yeah, why not?
I'm gonna one-up you,
Yeah?
and I'm gonna give you a 2-word review.
Is it schlock? Schlock.
Well, it should be. It's nonsense purified. Yeah, everything was nonsense. The script was nonsense. The acting was nonsense. The effects were nonsense. The science within the script was nonsense. I just, oh my god, I've got so many research into that.
Really?
Yeah, I did a lot.
You spend the time disproving Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah, well, just we don't Google in the middle of the podcast, which we usually do.
We already have done twice.
Yeah, just everything was nonsense. The editing was nonsense. Everything was wrong. Sound design was nonsense. You remember bleep bloop bleep bloop?
No.
No. It's when they're lifting a shark up to probe its brain, and they're just like these nonsense sounds. Just like bleep bloop bleep bloop bleep bloop, like not correlating to anything. It just sounded like the original Star Trek ship.
It's science, man.
Yeah.
that's how science does.
So it's nonsense, but I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course I loved it. This is my kind of film.
Yeah.
Tell you what, it was playing with my emotions though,
Yeah?
because
Did you just anger and woe?
well, one harrowing thing was the parrot. The parrot dies.
Oh, yeah.
That lost the point. I was like, oh, this is not fun anymore.
Yeah, you had an emotional attachment to the parrot.
Yeah, more than the people and the actors and the characters, quote unquote. But then it won back a point because it ended with the movie rap.
My hat is like a shark's fin. Deepest blue is my hat is like a shark's fin.
Movie themed rap by LL Cool J. So, you know, it's ups and downs, this movie. It's a roller coaster of emotions.
But it's intense.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what you've got.
Oh my God.
The facts.
You know what happened though is like I didn't write down much while I was watching it, and then when you went away and I was laying in bed, I was like, "Oh my god, that's funny," and I kept writing notes. I just kept waking up and writing notes more and more. So, what is this movie about?
What is this movie about?
Sharks.
Sharks.
They're trying to grow a shark's brain.
There's a scientist lady and a man,
Yeah.
and they're trying to cure Alzheimer's by genetically engineering sharks so they have bigger brains, so they can take a liquid out of said brains, and then what they do is they squeeze it onto a human brain.
A piece of human brain that's just laying on the table, flopped on the table, without any like equipment or anything.
Yeah. And they don't mix it with anything. They don't put it in a solution. They literally just take it out of shark and drip it on a brain.
Yeah, they don't look at it in a microscope before. They don't do like any chemical tests or
No.
anything. They're just like, as a brain flopped on a table, on a cold steel table, and they just put some shark juice on it, and Alzheimer's is cured. Voila.
Well, I mean, sometimes the solution's the easiest one, you know?
Yeah.
They've genetically engineered these brains, these sharks, and they escape. Shock horror.
I wrote down they're close to reviving a human brain cell. I just thought that was so funny. Just especially like a commentary on the people watching this movie. we gotta bring back these brain dead people to life.
I think it's a commentary on the writers of the film.
Yeah. Oh my god, my arch nemesis, Akiva Goldsman.
Why is he? We went through Akiva Goldsman. He's got some good stuff.
He's got some good stuff, but mostly shit. Batman and Robin, the Picard TV show. Oh my god. Don't even get me started.
Not the third season.
Not the third season, obviously, because it wasn't complete shit. The Jonah Hex movie, Transformers.
Transformers did really well.
Okay. Yeah, that's why he gets shows, but...
Yeah. Oh my god. You just realizing that people who are successful and make money get the jobs. It's just new information.
Should we just talk about the most amazing thing in this movie? There's one actor in this picture that achieved more than I've ever thought anyone capable of achieving.
Okay.
It's the first human uncanny valley. It's the lady scientist.
Do you think she's an android?
That's what I wrote down. I should have played an android. It makes perfect sense. Was it a cut scene?
Yeah, they like take that for the back of her head.
Yeah.
And just like bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop.
And it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, she is the most emotionless, cold person has ever acted in anything.
Yeah, and then that's the other problem is that she's surrounded with all these amazing actors. It's like
Is she there?
yeah, Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay. LL Cool J.
All right. LL Cool J is an exemption, but like Sven Svensson, whatever his name is, Eric Larson.
Eric Larson.
I don't know who that is. I just go into my mind.
Isn't that a writer? Didn't he write Girl with a Dragon Tattoo?
Oh yeah, maybe.
Well, it's Stieg Larsson.
Okay, well, all those Swedish are the same to me. Thomas Jane, all these people who are above the average in acting, so that her acting looks even worse in surrounded with these people.
It's pretty telling because we looked it up afterwards. We looked it up after the film, what she's been in since, and nothing at all.
I'll tell you where she's been, probably. I think she's been to Botox surgery right before they shot the film, and that's why she couldn't move her face muscles. Also, she was doing some sort of terrible accent.
I think that's her accent, right?
Is it?
I think so.
It felt like it was from nowhere, and it was fluctuating as well.
You think? I
Yeah.
thought it was very kind of like British.
Was it?
I don't know, was it?
There you go. There you go. This answers all your questions.
Yeah, I didn't think too much during this film. I wonder why.
Rick,
Hello.
do you like to listen to bonus episodes on patreon.com/IHateYourMovie?
I love it more than anything else.
It makes my life so good.
I've grown 12 inches since listening to...
Where?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Did you know that on patreon.com/IHateYourMovie we have our best episodes on the show for £1 plus tax? You can enjoy all our bonus episodes we do every month. We do things like trivia.
Current champion.
Oh yeah, you. I forget I hate you. We do things like
Random film generators.
random film generators.
We've watched films like Resident Evil 3 and Halloween No One Cares.
Halloween 2, the bad one. The other bad one.
No, the other bad one.
Not the other bad
No,
one.
the other bad one.
We get movie suggestions from our Patreons and much more.
More.
So join this great community of people for £1 plus taxes a month. Patreon.com/IHateYourMovie. Oh, by the way, yeah, we recorded us watching this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna occasionally cut in some reaction shots. There's some fun times, fun jokes we had. Remember that when they were trying to make a love plot somehow with that lady?
Yeah, the lady.
That was my favorite thing in this film. So like, as they're running away from the sharks, it's LL Cool J, Thomas Jane, and lady,
Robot lady.
robot lady, and then like out of nowhere, LL Cool J is like, "Come on, guys, get a room, you lovebirds," and it's like, what? Where did that come from? There's more chemistry between LL Cool J and Thomas Jane than Thomas Jane and that lady.
There's more chemistry between Samuel L. Jackson and the shark.
Yeah.
But can we get the fuck out of here?
Oh yeah, the chemistry is just overwhelming.
You can bring on the good news anytime now.
If you two lovers would stop loving each other.
Was it you the other day, by the way, that told me you just turn a shark upside down?
Yeah, there's a video of it. Apparently, sharks either don't care about humans.
No, they don't.
That's why there's not many shark attacks, really. It's like, I think it only happens if you're really near the nest or whatever.
Sharks have nests.
Or whatever they lay their eggs on. But yeah, it was like a shark sneaking up on a scuba diver, and then the scuba diver just
Scuba driver.
scuba diver just grabbed the shark and it flipped it upside down. It was just like, you've never seen an animal more confused than when that happened. It's just like, what happened? And it just completely disoriented it and then didn't know what to do with itself after that. It's really funny. But yeah, sharks are not really scary.
No.
There's more hippo deaths than shark deaths.
Yeah.
I even heard like some scuba diver. I even heard from some.
Put it in the Dan mix.
I even heard from some scuba divers that they're kind of friendly and playful, sharks.
Yeah, mainly they will only attack you if you're on a surfboard and you're using your legs and feet to kick, then
Yeah.
you look like a seal or a big turtle or something.
Sure, yeah.
Then they'll attack you.
Speaking of acting,
Yeah.
why would you cast Samuel L. Jackson as a capitalist suit? It's like antithesis of him. Like genuinely.
Is that because it's 25 years later and now we just know and love him as a badass
No.
motherfucker?
because he was cast as a boring asshole in Star Wars as well. And he didn't work in there as well.
Yeah, but he just wanted to be in Star Wars. He
Yeah,
just,
but
like, he
it's-
just loved it.
What's the point? He's a really good actor, but what he's best at is intensity, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And when he has to be boring, kind of scaled back, like reserved person, I just whatever. You know, it's not interesting to me.
Yeah, it was definitely a waste.
Yeah.
There's like one scene where he becomes Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
And then immediately gets eaten by a shark.
Yeah. He gets punished by being himself.
He gets punished by acting well in this film.
Yeah. That shot as well when he gets eaten by a shark. And that's like a filmmaking nonsense. Usually, zoomed out, eye level shots are for comedy.
Okay.
And it was that. It was a zoomed out, eye level shot of a comedic thing that happened. The shark comes out and eats him. Like, was that supposed to be funny? Like, the way they set it up is supposed to be funny, right?
Yeah. They're talking about whether they want to swim 10 minutes with the shark-infested waters or climb a ladder.
Yeah. Well, something about the ladder as well, right?
Yeah, there's something about pressure
Pressure, something pressure.
on water.
Yeah, I think that's what they say. Something pressure.
Yeah.
Like, that's verbatim. And then he makes this rousing speech of, let's go and try, motherfuckers. And then he gets eaten by a
Yeah,
shark.
he jumps out the water, as sharks are known to do, grabs him, and then jumps back in the water.
Yeah, a terrible comedy shot. Thomas Jane was okay.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
There's one thing that stood out though, and that might be direction. But there's one where he's underwater, and then they're scuba diving together.
Yes, yeah.
And then the IT guy gets eaten. It's like he's been underwater for like 3 minutes, and then he comes up and screams.
Yeah.
Don't you need to breathe first? That's the only thing that stood up with him.
Yeah, that's definitely a direction thing.
Since we're on characters, let's talk about nerdy guy who's confused.
Nerdy guy who's confused.
Nerdy but not idiot nerd, or what would you call him?
Which one? What are you talking about?
Which one? The guy who was like constantly spitting facts that were wrong.
Why were they wrong?
Well, the first introduction to him, right? He's there when they're doing some sort of test outside. And then Thomas Jane is like, how high are the fences? And he says,
Oh, yeah.
8 feet, give a few centimeters or so.
Yeah.
What? She's just gonna mix measurements like that? What the fuck? And they kept saying stupid shit.
I really liked him as a character.
really?
I enjoyed his kind of like everyman scared, but, still like a bro,
Was he a bro?
Yeah.
I feel like he was a fake nerd. He was also having a discussion with LL Cool J about relativity.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, my God. That's the worst.
That's why he's a nerd who's stupid. Let's talk about relativity.
Oh, my God.
So, if you're scientifically minded, I'm just gonna cut in this clip. It speaks for itself.
Einstein's theory of relativity. Grab hold of a hot pan, a second can seem like an hour. Put your hands on a hot woman, an hour can seem like a second. It's all relative.
I spent 4 years at Caltech, and that's the best physics explanation I've ever heard.
So, do you think this is what relativity is? Is that you're looking at a hot woman that feels longer than putting your hand on a stove? Is that what Einstein talked about?
Yep, that's it.
Is the hot woman stove equations?
Did a lot of experiments.
So yeah, fake scientist, man.
Well, he's a fake IT guy.
Yeah,
I don't think he's a scientist. He just does the technical shit.
yeah. He talks about science like I do, like I know what I'm just talking about. Here's something I researched, right? About 3 times in this movie, they mentioned that sharks are the oldest predators on planet Earth.
Okay.
And that flared up like a little question mark in my brain. I was like, that doesn't sound right. So I looked up. I even cross-referenced whether in 1999 people thought that. Just in case, give the movie most credit, if people thought that in 1999 sharks were the first predators or not. And surprise, surprise, they weren't. In fact, they were a couple 100 million years off.
Is that all?
It's just that's all.
To be fair, when you go to like back to dinosaur times, then 100 million years isn't that much. You know?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, oh, the Cretaceous, and then next up it was the Jurassic, and it was so many, like, millions of years apart.
Yeah, but this is even before the dinosaur times. It's really weird. Life was like one-celled organisms for 3 billion years, and then all of a sudden it just exploded, and everything became animals and weird shit, or plants. That's called the Cambrian explosion, and that's where your first predators were. And sharks were in the Ordovician period, which is like a few 100 million years later. But yeah, our first predator is named after Attenborough.
Yeah.
Arulomina attenboroi, 560 million old fossil. I even looked up the first predator in the Ordovician, which were sharks appeared in first. And even they weren't the first predators in the Ordovician either. It was cephalopods, so it's like octopuses and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, way to go, movie. First predator, the shark. Not even true by 90s standards. They should have had like a scientist on board. And then this movie would have made like 5% more sense.
I think that would get in the way of the script. You know, I think facts would get in the way of what you want to do with the film. A few of the way through the thing, I put questions in.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to know what your opinions were on certain things, or whether or not, like, how they filmed it was done, how it looked. Do you think Thomas Jane is actually underwater for all his scenes? Or do you think that's him?
Not when he's scuba diving.
No?
I don't think so, but like I was keeping an eye on it. He's really there with where the water fills in kind of scenes. The water fills in a room.
Yeah.
Which was like crazy. Like, why would you do that? What for this film? You know, like, have you not read the script? Why would you risk your life for this stupid film?
There's no way he's risking their lives.
Water gushing in. I'm sure there was like safety precautions and safety stuff, but still, you know, accidents happen. Especially when you like deal with that kind of stuff. Points for effort.
Yeah.
It's something.
I think if you have to give this film one credit, it's for how much water is in this film and how they just continuously attack the actors with it.
Yeah, they didn't fake it.
No, they really didn't.
Thomas Jane wasn't acting in those scenes. He was just really uncomfortable and trying to push away the door or whatever.
Yeah, it's genuinely like you don't have to act at that point when there's like a tidal wave of water coming down the stairs at you.
It's scarier than the shark.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you're right. It genuinely is. It really, really is.
Did you know in the original Jaws, the big Jaws puppet that they had like as an animatronic thing, it barely worked. And that resulted in spending more time with the characters. And it made for a better movie.
Really?
So because instead of like this schlocky it really got to spend time with the characters. And the shark, you know, it was barely in it, and it made it scarier because it was like it was a genuine surprise when it happened. This is like Jaws if the shark puppet worked.
And was various sizes at any given time.
Yeah, should we talk about that?
That's my number one gripe with this film.
Yeah,
like I can take shitty writing, I can take shitty acting, I can take turn your brain off and watch, but what I can't take is when you show a shark at the start of the film and it's the size of a school bus, and then halfway through the film it fits through a small doorway. Now I can fit through doorways.
Is that explainable by having 3 sharks? What they said, there's a gender difference as well. So
maybe there was a baby shark.
To me, it really stood out when it was LL Cool J in the kitchen.
Yes, he's literally in like waist-high water.
Waist-high water, and then the giant, what's that, megalodon? A giant megalodon comes in, and it's just a little fin sticking out.
Yeah, I've completely forgot to do it. I was going to look up how tall LL Cool J was.
And maybe it's giant.
and then try and judge the height of the water by his height. But it's about 4 foot of water.
Yeah.
If that.
My problem is that I could maybe forgive that.
Yeah.
But along with their size, their intelligence and strength fluctuates as well.
Yep.
It's like sometimes they can just crash through a steel door.
Yeah.
A pressurized steel door.
Yeah, it's like a submarine door.
Yeah. What? And then their intelligence, it really stood out at the end when they're like, oh my god, he led us here. It was like, no, it didn't. Or
yeah, I'm sorry, but even if your shark is intelligent enough to puzzle solve, it does not know the inner workings of a fucking submarine base.
Yeah. The shark was doing dumber things before that. When they walking up the ladders, and then they have
Not
like
the shark.
when Thomas Jane and company are climbing up the ladders, they have like little fake clothes with them to distract the shark. And that's dumber than carefully, strategically cornering people, right?
Yeah.
That's what bugged me, really.
Okay, here's a question. What was your favourite scene of the whole film?
That's really hard. I think it's by the end.
Yeah?
Because it's just the schlock really intensified at that point. It's just the shark eats the lady.
Pointlessly, by the way. Absolutely pointlessly. She just, I don't know why she
I'm
just,
gonna distract it.
yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna distract it. I'm gonna distract it. I'm gonna sacrifice myself to the greater good. But yeah, LL Cool J is like, he didn't even hear that conversation about how to defeat the shark.
Yeah.
He wasn't even there, but somehow Thomas Jane is attached to the shark, and then he has this line that's supposed to, when you ignite it, it just blows the shark up. He wasn't even there when they were discussing that with the lady. Just out of shot or whatever. But anyway, he has to do it. And I think that was it. It was just like really stupid, over the top.
My favourite part of that scene is he goes to blow up Thomas Jane.
Yeah.
And Thomas Jane's like, do it! Kill us all! And he grabs onto the fence. Thomas Jane grabs onto the fence that the shark goes through with no injury to himself whatsoever.
No. What was your favourite scene?
So if you would have asked me before this film what my favourite scene was, obviously I've seen this film before, my favourite scene, hands down, would have been the moment that LL Cool J blows up a shark in the air
Oh, yeah.
while it's in the air by throwing a lighter into a gas-filled room. The shark comes out and jumps into the air because that's how it explodes, because otherwise the fire wouldn't get into water.
Yeah.
Science.
Science.
All of that is nonsense. Just
Yeah.
every single part of it. The shark can't jump out of 4 foot of water. Gas needs to be at a certain ratio in a room to react to oxygen so you can set fire to it. There's no way that a half-submersed submarine refueling station gas oven would still work 4 foot underwater.
Yeah.
All of it's nonsense. And if he does like a little quip as he throws it, something like that, right?
You ate my parrot, motherfucker, or something like that.
Which is, that would have been my favorite. But I think on a rewatch, it's the entire scene where they lift the shark and they're trying to extract things from its brain. Because that's just hilarious. First of all,
Bleep, 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 bleep,
bleep, bleep, bleep, bleep, bleep, bleep. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then it's the nonsense, like, keystrokes. I've noticed this more and more in films. Because you always have, like, the standard, I'm going to hack something.
Yeah.
But what I've noticed even more recently is the, like, just nonsense. People press, like, Control, Shift, F12, F10. Like, when has that ever been? Like, when has anyone used F12 and F10 to do anything? And then there's, like, oh, God, then they do it. And obviously, we said before about the brain and the squidgy. And that's fantastic. And the electrons are firing. And then just the shark wakes up, even though it's got every single medical equipment on it possible, and they're measuring its heart rate and its brain rate, and they've just stuck a freaking pole through its head, and it just wakes up. Oh shit, here I am. And he bites off the guy's arm, which is terrible. It's just terribly done. It looks so fake and horrible and awful. And then, no, actually, I ignore all of that. My favorite bit is the helicopter.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that.
The helicopter. Okay. While we were watching, I was like, do you know what's going to happen? Do you know what's going to happen? Can you see it? Can you see it? Look, basically they've got a fishing line.
Yeah.
And then my ultimate favourite bit, there's just the complete nonsense of it all, start to finish, is just, it's chef's kiss. Amazing. It's when the shark throws Sven Svensson at the glass.
Oh, yeah.
While he's on a hospital gurney.
And he's still alive somehow.
And it breaks the glass.
It breaks the glass. He's still alive somehow.
Any idea the amount of pressure on that glass and how insignificant throwing a stretcher at it would be?
Yeah, with a squishy man.
Yeah.
Face front. As you said, the brain things, 2 more things flared up. It's like the little science alarm in my brain. Yeah, because I didn't remember. They put the thing on the brain,
Yeah.
on the human brain they got somewhere, and it fires electricity.
Yeah.
From where? You need energy for that. You can't just put a dead brain and put some material on it. It's not gonna fire electricity all of a sudden.
No, you're right. No.
Let's talk about the weird editing, and this might be our Netflix copy of a movie, but it was some sort of weird TV cut
Oh yeah.
for like TV ad
Yeah,
breaks.
there was very clearly like ad breaks in it. That were
Yeah,
cut
but
out.
TV ad breaks, not Netflix ad breaks. It was like fade in, fade out. Also, like the music instantly cuts out, and then it wasn't even mixed with the Netflix break, so it wasn't even smooth because it's just the music cuts out weirdly, and then it's just next scene. It was like, oh,
Yeah, and it was in weird places as well, because sometimes like they're walking down a hall and it fades out and it's like, oh, this is an ad break.
yeah,
Isn't it weird though that you kind of like subconsciously know, you know? Mm-hmm. Like I would never have guessed that would be a thing that I would know, that this is an ad break now, that it's kind of the old like sitcoms and old films have kind of trained us to know when ads are coming.
but yeah, I was like, why is this weird TV? Can't they get like a original copy of the movie? It's weird, you know. They got a TV rip from Pirate Bay.
I was gonna go older than that. I was gonna be like, they downloaded it from LimeWire.
LimeWire, yeah.
Yeah.
And it says the wrong author. It says it's from System of a Down. Like everything on LimeWire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's secretly porn.
Yeah.
Trying to think of a porn parody name for Deep Blue Sea.
Deep Blue Balls.
Deep Blue Balls.
There you go.
What's the plot go like in Deep Blue Balls though? How is it water related?
We injected
We've injected shark brain into somebody's balls.
some of these balls. Got these sexy sharks on the water. We injected them with hormones and serotonin to increase their sexiness. And they grew breasts. It's one of those awkward porn parodies where a lady dresses up as a shark.
And the android woman's still there. Like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get out of here, lovebirds. Stop enjoying it so much. I talked about how I don't like the title, and you said it will make sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Why is it called the BBC's David Attenborough's Deep Blue Sea, featuring whales footage no one's ever seen in HD?
Whales footage.
Yeah, whatever. That's how they usually market the David Attenborough documentaries. Never seen before footage of whales, eyelids or whatever. Yeah, like it could be called a springtime walk during spring.
I think I wrote down the quote that starts or finishes with, "Beneath its glassy surface, a world of gliding monsters, the deep blue sea."
Okay, it doesn't instill fear in me. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense. If you're going to call your film Deep Blue Sea, there should be some threat. Being trapped underwater or being trapped in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing I would go with.
Yeah, it doesn't sound very threatening. From that title, I wouldn't know what kind of film it is.
Well, you look at the cover. There's a big old shark on it.
Maybe it's a friendly shark. I just saw David Attenborough would come up at some point. It's like the shark with its 5 times its brain size. It provide cure for Alzheimer's. Yet it's eating Thomas Jane or whatever.
I would like to point out something.
Yeah.
Right. So, the end of this film, LL Cool J's in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets bit by the shark.
Yeah. He got saved by Jesus.
He is the only person in the entire film that doesn't immediately get torn into.
Yeah.
Like, everybody else is immediately torn into or swallowed whole.
Yeah.
And it even goes to the point where he gets grabbed by the shark and he gets dragged around for some reason. Never explains why. Never does it. And then Jesus saves him. He stabs his cross into the eye of the shark.
Yeah.
And then immediately after that, robot android lady sacrifices herself. And again, she immediately gets torn in half.
Yeah.
So what's this shark got against eating LL Cool J?
I think because LL Cool J somewhere in the middle in the movie says, "Oh, black people never survive these kind of things," which is kind of almost like a fourth wall break.
Yeah.
So maybe the movie was intentionally keeping him alive because there's a twist. Oh my God, the black guy's alive! What an amazing twist!
What a 1999 amazing twist.
Yeah.
My last gripe with this film,
Mm-hmm.
and you will have to correct my scientific accuracy, because I'm not 100% sure I'm correct. It's a fact that's somewhere in the back of my mind that if you are underwater anywhere near an explosion, your lungs will burst and your ears will pop and you will die.
Maybe.
It's like a pressure thing.
Okay.
And that if that pressure hits you as quickly as an underwater explosion, then...
He was very close as well.
Exactly, yeah.
There's a giant explosion.
Yeah.
My final gripe with this movie, and this is like for a whole movie, is that the only thing I was genuinely invested in this movie is the Alzheimer's bit.
And the parrot.
And the parrot. Yeah, the parrot was cute. Also, why you just call it your parrot, your bird? Why don't you give it a name, you heartless monster? LL Cool J. No, it's the Alzheimer's thing. Is that it bugged the fuck out of me, right? Because both the movie and all the other characters, other than Scientist Lady, didn't give a fuck about this. Like, there was all...
I think they were mainly worried about their lives.
Yeah, but that's the only thing that get invested in this movie. That would be a genuine miraculous thing if you can cure Alzheimer's. Most people die of that nowadays.
Yeah?
And 90% of people get dementia if they live to old age. And most of that is Alzheimer's.
Wow.
So it's like one of the biggest killers of humans. And it is a disease. It's not just regular sundowning. It is a disease. But the movie treats it like, oh, come on. It's not that important. Like, I feel like 5-something people dying for that is not that bad. Genuinely.
Well, I think the worst bit about it is they don't even get the stuff out. They
That's
don't
the
even,
thing.
Yeah,
And
they
then
don't-
the lady dies so unceremoniously. That also the movie telling you is like, oh, this wasn't important. I cared about the Alzheimer's cure. But the whole movie is like, you know, oh, come on. It's not important.
It's more of an excuse to be there than it is a reason
Yeah.
for the plot.
Yeah. And then even the lady was like, if she was more relatable, I would have cared about her and the cure, and I wanted her to get out. And then she just dies, whatever.
Yeah, she electrocutes her own research, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Because it's in a baggie in her locker.
What's the point of that? I mean, like, as a filmmaker, what's the point of setting that up? And then she chooses her life over that. Like, why are you writing that scenario?
See, I questioned, right? I went back and forth on this, is this an interesting thing the filmmaker has done, or is it purely accident and the guy's an idiot? Here was the question I had in my mind about that. So, obviously, she's let kind of people die, and she's done all of this, and she doesn't really care if people die as long as she gets her research out. Now, is this a really telling part of the character, a moral choice, that she's willing to let other people die for her research, but when it comes to the crunch, she's not willing to die for her research?
Yeah, may have been something like that, but it didn't come across like that in the
No,
movie.
God, no. No,
They didn't reflect on it.
no, I feel like I've given that more depth than,
Yeah.
than it was written as.
Yeah, they didn't reflect on it or talk about it. It felt like the MacGuffin. It's the MacGuffin. It was
It
pointless
was less
MacGuffin.
than a MacGuffin, you know. It's
Yeah.
like, okay,
Yeah,
this is what's happening.
yeah. What would happen in this movie's kind of continuity if they get the cure? They just flip out people's skulls, like in this movie, the brain flopped on the on the steel table and just squirt it, and then all of a sudden they come alive again.
You just put it through someone's ear.
Yeah,
Like you get a turkey baster and just squeeze it into someone's ear.
it's
and
just some
they're
shark
cured.
juice. Don't worry. Deep Blue Sea.
Deep Blue Sea. Cool. So I'm going to push you for a rating,
Yeah,
an actual real life rating.
actual real life rating.
Yeah.
6 out of 10.
Yeah.
That only reflects my enjoyment of it. Obviously, it's not. I rated Nice Guys that, but this Nice Guys is way better, obviously. So, take that into account. This is like a bad movie rating. It's just how much I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was stupid fun.
Schlocky.
Schlocky, yeah. We need to use that word more. What is your rating, sir?
Oh God. I think if I just on memory alone, I would have given this film like a 6. But it's just, like your nostalgia kind of thing. If you asked me before I watched it again, but no, it's just rubbish. I would give it a 4 because
Okay.
I never intend to watch it ever again.
Oh, come on. I would definitely watch this.
Yeah.
Like a watch party, yeah. Hell yeah. It's hilarious. I feel like this is also one of those where more you watch it, you may discover more stupid things. I just feel like that's what's gonna happen. Yeah. So what are we watching next?
I don't know. It's your pick.
So I failed in Friend Brewery.
Friend Brewery round 1.
Friend Brewery is happening now.
Okay.
So your criteria.
Mm-hmm.
Can't be old. Something always must be happening. Likeable main character. I was also gonna ask, what's your cutoff for old?
I would say 1990.
Okay. Oh, this is right on the line.
Well, you've got like red, orange, green.
Okay.
So your red area is anything before 1990.
Oh, wow.
Your orange area is 1990 to the year 2000.
Mm-hmm.
And then your greener areas are from 2000 to the present day.
Okay. This is right on the line. It's 1989.
Okay. That's not a good start.
But this doesn't feel like an 80s movie to me.
Okay. There are exceptions. I mean,
yeah.
look. I mean, you look at Italian Job.
Yeah.
That's 63.
This feels more like Amadeus in terms of it feels kind of timeless.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you like your sad movies.
I do like a sad movie.
This is I'm gonna sad you. I'm gonna out sad you. This is Dead Poet Society, starring Robin Williams.
Oh, is that the stupid I can't pay my pen. I can't pay my pen. Everyone quotes all the time, and it's endlessly annoying. I haven't seen the film.
Yeah, no.
Oh God.
Oh no. Oh no.
How I see. I've never seen the film. Right. It strikes me very, very similar to the film Good Will Hunting, which you despise. Kind of like everyday people find intelligence in something, and their lives are great because of it.
That's not what the plot is at all.
No.
No.
Okay. Can I guess?
Yeah.
I think Robin Williams is a teacher.
Yeah.
Yep. I think he is teaching some students who don't quite know where their place is in the world. And I think he shows them through some kind of, oddity that actually their place in the world was there for them all along.
Kind of. No, the kind of that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck's sake. Come on, go on with an open mind.
Yeah.
I think it's a quality movie.
I don't know how you're going to put so many eye rolls into a podcast.
Dude, you are impossible to figure out. It fits everything in your criteria except the old. And I feel like it is kind of timeless.
I can't imagine it has something that's always happening. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah. Anyway,
Right.
let's find out in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.
It's like a shark's fin. Man-made terror, 100 jaws of death. Paddle across my depths, I pause your breath. I caught you, you sink down 40,000 leagues. Bleeding to death with no arms and short sleeves.
Do you think they deserve to die, Mr.
Yes, they deserve to die.